like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.
What's good, gang? I'm so glad you're back here with me on Jade Hope TV. Hope you all had a great week, and gang, I got a special video for you today. So we're starting a new series today, Underrated Characters in the Bible. Yes, so we're going to be talking about all the characters in the Bible that are basically underrated. You know, I was thinking a lot about life and people and their characters and the part people play in others' lives. And if you think about it, you're the only person that's the main character in your own story. You know what I mean? But I'm sure there are many people that have popped in and out of your life that have left their mark so greatly that it's influenced your story. And so today we're going to be talking about one of these people. Let's get into it! So today's story is on Jethro, otherwise known as Ruel, otherwise known as Hobab. Do you guys know who that is? Let me know in the comments. And we're going to be reading from Exodus 2, 1 through to 22. One day, when Moses had grown up, he went out to his people and looked on their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his people. He looked this way and that, and seeing no one, he struck down the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. When he went out the next day, behold, two Hebrews were struggling together. And he said to the man in the wrong, "Why do you strike your companion?" He answered, "Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you mean to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and thought, surely the thing is known. When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and stayed in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. The shepherds came out and drove them away, but Moses stood up and saved them and watered their flock. When they came home to their father, Ruel, he said, "How is it that you've come home so soon today?" They said, "An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds and even drew water and watered the flock for us." He said to his daughters, "Then where is he? Why have you left the man? Call him, that he may eat bread." And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah. She gave birth to a son, and he called his name Gershom, for he said, "I have been a sojourner in a foreign land." Okay, guys. So, what's basically happened is Moses killed somebody. He killed an Egyptian because he saw him beating down a Hebrew. And because he's Hebrew, even though he grew up in the palace with Pharaoh as the adopted son to Pharaoh's daughter, he was still a Hebrew, and he knew he was a Hebrew. So when he saw the mistreatment of the Hebrews, he didn't like it. That's why he killed the Egyptian. And then so when he goes out now to try to talk to two other Hebrews that are struggling with each other, he realizes that they know. Because, the guys
Who are you to tell us what to do? Like, who made you judge? You're going to kill me, just like you killed the other person.
When he realized, wow, these people know, because remember, he hid the Egyptian in the sand. So, but once he knew that they know, he fled. And rightly so, because Pharaoh wanted to kill him when he heard. So he's married Jethro's daughter, Zipporah, and they've had a child. And he's still working for Jethro, tending the flocks. That's when he comes across the burning bush. In Exodus chapter 3, it's where he meets God, comes across the burning bush. We have a video on that. You can click a card here or in the description. And that video is called God or an Angel. That's going to be Exodus 3. And then moving on to Exodus 4 is when God tells him about all the signs and wonders that he's going to do and sends him to free the people from Egypt. We also have a video on that. Click it up here. It's going to be, are you telling God no? Or in the description. It's going to be linked in the description. So that's going to bring you up to date to Exodus 4:18, where we're going to be reading. Moses went back to his Jethro, father-in-law, and said to him, "Please let me go back to my brothers in Egypt to see whether they are still alive." And Jethro said to Moses, "Go in peace." So, dropping a pin there. Moses has asked Jethro, can he go back to Egypt? Really, he's going to check on his brothers, but he's also going to set the people free, like what God told him to do. And so Jethro's given him his blessing. And I think that's really important, because Jethro could have said,
No, you don't need to go anywhere. Your wife is here, your sons are here. Why are you going back to Egypt?
But Jethro allowed him to go back with his wife and with his sons. And because of that, because of Jethro being such a cool dude and allowing that, that's why we see the unraveling of Moses setting the Israelites free, setting the people free. That's where we see all the plagues, the 10 plagues of the locusts, the killing of the firstborn, the river turns to blood. That's where we see all of those happening, where he's back and forth with Pharaoh, trying to get the people saying, let my people go, which is a message from God. Then we see after the people get let go, the Israelites, and they cross the Red Sea, and Pharaoh has been killed, and the Egyptian, we see them in the desert, where God gives them bread from heaven, where God gives them water from a rock, and God basically is with them through this desert. So we're going to get into those stories in another video, but those chapters are from Exodus 5. We're going to be picking up at Exodus 18. Jethro, the priest of Midian, Moses' father-in-law, heard of all that God had done for Moses and for Israel, for his people, how the Lord had brought Israel out of Egypt. Now Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, had taken Zipporah, Moses' wife, after he had sent her home, along with her 2 sons. The name of the one was Gershom, for he said, I have been a sojourner in a foreign land. And the name of the other, Eleazar, for he said, the God of my father was my help, and delivered me from the sword of Pharaoh. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, came with his sons and his wife to Moses in the wilderness, where he was encamped at the mountain of God. And when he sent word to Moses, I, your father-in-law Jethro, am coming to you with your wife and her 2 sons with her. Moses went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him, and they asked each other of their welfare and went into the tent. Then Moses told his father-in-law all that the Lord had done to Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all the hardship that had come upon them in the way, and how the Lord had delivered them. And Jethro rejoiced for all of the good that the Lord had done to Israel, in that he had delivered them out of the hand of the Egyptians. Jethro said, Blessed be the Lord, who has delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians, and out of the hand of Pharaoh, and has delivered the people from under the hand of the Egyptians. Now I know that the Lord is greater than all the gods, because in this affair they dealt arrogantly with the people. And Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, brought a burnt offering and sacrifices to God. And Aaron came with all the elders of Israel to eat bread with Moses' father-in-law. The next day, Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood around Moses from morning till evening. When Moses' father-in-law saw all that he was doing for the people, he said, What is this that you are doing for the people? Why do you sit alone, and all the people stand around you from morning till evening? And Moses said to his father-in-law, Because the people come to me to inquire of God. When they have a dispute, they come to me, and I decide between one person and another, and I make them know the statutes of God and his laws. Moses' father-in-law said to him, What you are doing is not good. You and the people will certainly wear yourselves out, for the thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to do it alone. Now obey my voice. I will give you advice, and God be with you. You shall represent the people before God and bring their cases to God. And you shall warn them about the statutes and the laws, and make them know the way in which they must walk and what they must do. Moreover, look for able men from all the people, men who fear God, who are trustworthy and hate a bribe. And place such men over the people as chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, of 50s, and of 10s. And let them judge the people at all times. Every great matter they shall bring to you, but any small matter they shall decide themselves. So it will be easy for you, and they will bear the burden with you. If you do this, God will direct you. You will be able to endure, and all the people also will go to their place in peace. So Moses listened to the voice of his father-in-law and did all that he had said. Moses chose able men out of all of Israel and made them heads over the people, chiefs of thousands, of hundreds, and of 50s, and of 10s. And they judged the people at all times. Any hard cases they brought to Moses, but any small matters they decided themselves. Then Moses let his father-in-law depart, and he went away to his own country. So gang, what do you think?
How cool is Jethro?
Like Jethro basically came and told, because he heard about all the great things that had happened, how Moses had set all the people free. He brought the daughter back with him because Moses had sent his wife back to Jethro. So, you know, for him to take care of her while they was going through the desert and doing all this stuff. Jethro came back with his daughter, dropped his daughter back off with his grandchildren to Moses, and basically saw what Moses was doing and was like,
This is madness. What are you doing? You're going to wear yourself out.
he gave him a formula for success. He told him exactly what he should do so that he could have longevity, so that he wouldn't burn out. He also recognized Moses' God as God, and such brought him a burnt offering, brought a burnt offering to God, and recognized that God was the true God, that Moses' God was the true God. Jethro gave him great advice, and Moses followed it. In following his advice, Moses was able to carry on, Moses was able to delegate, Moses was able to excel and to succeed. What do you guys think? I think it's awesome. Jethro was cool. He allowed Moses to go when he needed to go. He came back, he gave him advice. Jethro is a cool dude. Like, what do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know what you think about this story. And if you like Jethro, what you think about what he did and his personality. What little gems can you get out of his character that you like? I think he's smart, he's intelligent, he's open-minded for allowing Moses to even come to his home and marry his daughter. He's got a lot of excellent qualities. But I want to know what you think. Jethro is an underrated character in the Bible because he had a huge impact on Moses' life. He really helped Moses to get a process that helped Moses to move forward in his ministry, move forward in his calling, and be able to do good by all the people.
Let me know what you think, gang, about this story.
So I love you guys. Let's remember to walk this narrow path together. Peace.
Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it. Walk it like I talk it.